Israel-Palestine conflict. Will World War III break out amid bombing and rocket strikes? You will find all the answers. Israel undertook heavy bombardment of Gaza in response to more rocket attacks from the Hamas-run enclave. The country claims there have been no ground assaults in Gaza despite dispatching ground troops. Fears of incursion have prompted Palestinian civilians to flee to the border. According to the latest reports, at least 198 people have died since the violence escalated on Monday. But will World War III break out in the region? The deadly conflict in Israel intensified further on Monday with rocket warning sirens sounding across many southern Israeli cities. Explosions rocked Gaza City for 10 minutes on Monday morning, lasting longer and targeting a wider area than the air raids that killed 42 Palestinians a day before. The deadly conflict in Israel intensified further on Monday with rocket warning sirens sounding across many southern Israeli cities. Explosions rocked Gaza City for 10 minutes on Monday morning, lasting longer and targeting a wider area than the air raids that killed 42 Palestinians a day before. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there will be no immediate end to the violence. He told the nation the ongoing attacks will continue at full force and would take time to remedy. He said his country wants to level a heavy price on the Hamas militant group, which has also been launching rockets towards civilian areas in Israel. A total of 198 Palestinians have been killed, including 58 children and 34 women, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. In Israel, 8 people have been killed, including a 5-year-old boy and a soldier. At least 198 Palestinians have reportedly died since exchanges began on Monday, including 28 children and 15 women, and there have been 1,230 injuries, according to Gaza's health ministry. However, Israeli officials claim this figure is actually much higher. Israel authorities claim 8 Israelis have been killed, including 2 children and 1 soldier. The deadliest day of the recent conflict came on Thursday, May 13th, the final day of Eid al-Fitr, the event which marks the end of Ramadan. Almost half of the deaths confirmed since the violence began happened on Thursday and over the weekend. A week after the first day of hostilities, there are no signs of abating. Israel fired artillery and mounted more airstrikes against Palestinian militants in the Gaza Strip. Hamas forces continued to fire rockets at Jerusalem and Tel Aviv in retaliation for Israeli police clashes with Palestinians at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in East Jerusalem. Mr. Netanyahu said Israel has struck a total of close to 1,000 militant targets in the territory. The UN's Middle East envoy issued a shocking warning this week, claiming, "We're escalating towards a full-scale war." The UN official Tor Wensland said, "Stop the fire immediately. We're escalating towards a full-scale war. Leaders on all sides have to take the responsibility of de-escalation. The cost of war in Gaza is devastating and is being paid by ordinary people. The UN is working with all sides to restore calm. Stop the violence now." Israel's president has warned the country is descending into a senseless civil war, amid a growing wave of street violence. Reuven Rivlin issued a desperate appeal to, "Please stop the madness," he said. "We are endangered by rockets that are being launched at our citizens and streets, and we are busying ourselves with a senseless civil war among ourselves." The emotional comments came as dramatic images and footage from the scenes in Israel continued to be shared. Many show fiery red flames illuminating the skies with deafening booms hitting the region. International nations and world leaders have spoken out against the violence, calling for calm. Egyptian officials have been speaking with both sides, as have officials from the United Nations. The USA has dispatched a senior diplomat to the region, and Russian President Vladimir Putin has added his voice to those calling for both sides to de-escalate. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he is deeply concerned by the growing violence and warned both sides to step back from the brink. However, so far there is no sign of peace on the horizon. Mr. Netanyahu has said Hamas and other militant groups will pay a heavy price for firing rocket barrages into Israel, and the operation will continue for as long as necessary to restore quiet.